Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where I am flying solo, talking about how we got started in the movie business. My name is Steve Akeley, and look forward to having a good show with you guys today. Hey, I want to talk about this whole movie thing, but before we get to that, I wanted to talk a little bit about Jason Bronner and what they got going on at Buzzard's Roost. Are you guys feeling this like I am? It feels like that brand is starting to catch on. I feel like there's a buzz about it. Certainly in my social media feed, I'm seeing more and more things dedicated to talking about Buzzard's Roost. There's more people going to the distillery, so I see a lot of people doing that. Certainly something that I do whenever I'm in downtown Louisville. I'm heading to the distillery, and I'm see that all of my friends, the bourbon people from the shop, the crew club members, those types, all seem to make a stop at Buzzard's Roost, so that's pretty cool. And I know that there's a lot more people asking about the brand when they come into the ABV Barrel Shop. There'll be people that'll come in and specifically ask about what we have, in terms of Buzzard's Roost, and wanting to know more about the brand and stuff like that. So I think that it gets the feeling like, while I think they've always been doing pretty good, it feels like they're on the verge of really busting through. Kind of like the Kool-Aid Man. You know, the Kool-Aid Man, if you know what I'm talking about, you're probably my age. But the Kool-Aid Man used to come busting through the wall, and it feels like that's what Buzzard's Roost is getting ready to do. So pretty excited stuff. I'm happy for Jason. I want that to be a success. I want that to be something that, the dream isn't to start a whiskey company, right? The dream is to have a successful whiskey brand. And it feels like at some points it was, just kind of treading water. It feels like that, for the most part, it's tough to build a brand. And they've done a really good job of getting distribution in multiple states. I don't know how many states they're in, but I think it's around over 20. So that's pretty cool. And, building that distillery, that's a hard thing to do. I mean, those places in downtown Louisville are not cheap. And to be able to do all that and then curate all these different experiences and things like that can make your each visit to Buzzard's Roost Distillery a little bit different, with the different classes and events that they do, is pretty awesome. The fact that they're making whiskey there now, also pretty awesome. And they've got a spectacular lineup of cocktails. So they're dedicated to that too. So they're really making themselves relevant with that. I know they're doing some cool gift shop drops. They're kind of hitting on everything that you want a brand to be that is on Whiskey Row. They're really doing that. So exciting times for my buddy Jason Bronner and the team there at Buzzard's Roost. So keep on keeping on. You guys are doing incredible work. So on that note, it's going to be time to drink. And guess what I'm having? I'm having me some Buzzard's Roost. I've got the Kindred collaboration here. I've been working on this one for a while. Let's see what we got. I got a second bottle of this lined up, already opened. It was one of those things, you try to only have one bottle of a product open at once. For some reason, I opened up two of these. I don't know what happened. But, as soon as I finish this one, I have a second opened one that I'll be working on. So you're going to hear me pop in the old Kindred collaboration for a while. So here we go. All right. Decent. That bell that you heard there, that was a notification that I won the Cork Pop. So not really. It was a text from Miss Becca Sue, of all people. So she just submitted her score. We have a text group now that just submits your scores for MapTap. Let's see how she did today. Miss Becca Sue did 845. That's a solid score. I only did 816 today, so Miss Becca Sue. I think I'm in last place too. Today was actually a pretty easy day if you play MapTap. If you're like, what is MapTap? We've talked about it on the show before, but MapTap is a game. You just Google MapTap and the game, and it'll come up. MapTap game, and it'll come up, and then just click on that and play it, and you play it every day. It only takes a couple minutes to play. It's pretty awesome. Everyone who plays likes it. Some are willing to share their scores, others not. I think that no one is not sharing their score because they did so great they're embarrassed by doing that good. There's nobody like that, so I think the ones that don't share are embarrassed. But I share mine every day, and I'm pretty terrible at it. I had a 500 and something yesterday, so that makes you feel better about yourself. I throw it out there every day to the group, so it's fun stuff. Here's a little trick. I think I'm the one who discovered this. I don't know of anybody else who did this before me, because I've told a lot of people about that, including some IT people like Matt Modica and some others that are pretty tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy, but what I do is I'll save a bookmark, which is, again, it's a bookmark. It's an internet game. It's not an app, so you can't go searching in your app store, whatever your brand is. You can't search in the app store for this. You got to play it online, but you can save a bookmark to your home screen, and then it creates a little icon, which is kind of like an app. Then you just click on that every day and play it. So I know most people are doing that now. So if you're not, though, do that, and it'll make your life a little bit easier. You don't have to Google every day or whatever it is you do. Save a bookmark not to the home screen. I think saving to the home screen is easy because it's just point and click. Then you just touch the little icon and you're there. So there you go. Some nice help out to you. So what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the movie business. How in the heck did the ABV network and this crew of jackasses that we got get into the movie biz? We'll talk about that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm a billionaire who buys stupid scotch, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Colonel Steve here, and I'm by myself talking today about the movie business. And we're kind of doing some of these behind-the-scenes things here these days. It's kind of that or best of. And I feel like creating original content when we can. It's not like we'll ever do a best of again, but when it's possible to do that, I think that's a superior way to go about it. And even if it involves me just recording a show by myself, I think that creating that new content for you guys for your commute to work is a fun thing to do. So that's what we've got today, and that's what we've got coming up. My schedule is bad as always, so getting the time to podcast is tough. And again, that's on me, not on Becca, not on McNew or anybody else. It's on me because I'm a mess. I also am dropping the ball on things. That's always a sign when you're doing too much. You just start dropping the ball. I forgot to publish Bourbon Zeppelin on time for the first time in its 9-year history. I just forgot. I was waiting to do an edit to finish out Delaphane's article. And I had asked her to send me something, and she didn't for one reason or another. She might have forgot. She's probably busy too. And then when she didn't send it, I'm just on to a million other things. I forget, hey, that's the last thing I need to do. Then I could set it up to publish automatically like I do. And I didn't do that. And then lo and behold, I forget to send it. So then what are you going to do? Do you just hold it back until the first of the next month? Do you just go ahead and send it late? I just sent it late. No excuse, no nothing on there or anything. It showed up when it did, and that's how I handled it. I don't know how you would, but that's how I did it. So there you go. Again, it's easy for me to get sidetracked. Don't have a whole crew here to keep me on course, so I'll just talk about whatever I'm thinking about, of course. So that's kind of part of the deal of these individual shows. So the movie business. So I'm in, and I'm doing the things I'm doing. I started out, the first thing that I ever did was write a book. I've talked about that, and then Bourbon Zeppelin really is the second thing that I ever got going, because I could do that, orchestrate it by myself, recruit writers to join me, and because I thought that would be a cool thing to do, because I wanted to be a writer, that there's probably other people like me out there that weren't getting the paying writing gigs, but wanted an outlet, regardless of whether you get paid or not, and there's people out there like that, and I appreciate them. I don't get paid for it either, so it's not like I'm making any money off of Bourbon Zeppelin. I do say that it makes us legitimate, and it does help in my other endeavors that I do with the network to make money. But there's no direct line of payment. There's no ads in there or anything like that. You don't pay to get an article in there or anything. So it's just done for passion. And here we are, been doing it 9.5 years at this point, 2 times a month. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. I mean, you don't want to pat yourself on the back, but I think it is. So I'm doing that, and really the movie thing starts out of Bourbon Zeppelin. So one day I get an email, because there's a way to email me in Bourbon Zeppelin, and an individual who I didn't know, never heard of, sent me an email message, and this guy's name is Bo Cumberland, someone that's familiar to most of you listening to this. And Bo said, hey, I do some documentaries on moonshine, and from time to time I see some facts and things like that in Bourbon Zeppelin. Do you have any problem with me utilizing them? And I can cite you as the source of that. I have no problem with that at all. So I reached out back to Bo and said, hey, use whatever you like, and I appreciate giving us the heads up, particularly because I don't write everything. I'd like to be able to give credit to those if you're using any information from any of our articles. I'd like you to do that. And I said, why would you make movies about moonshine, which is so segmented? Again, I'm not saying that there doesn't deserve to be a documentary about moonshine, but to focus all of your energy on that, it's very small niche, much smaller than bourbon. And I said, why don't you do anything with bourbon? And he said, well, I don't know anybody in bourbon. There's no path for me to get there. And I said, well, that's where I can help. I know a lot of people in bourbon. And so we began collaborating. And I had written a movie anyway. I always wanted to be in the movie business. I think most people at some point in their lives want to be in the movie business. And I'm a creative person. I'm a writer and things like that. So it's a natural, I think, to, want to get your work into that medium. And so I had written this movie script about, Kentucky craft whiskey and the idea that, these small brands can thrive even when there's the largest giants in the industry, right in their tiny shadows, trying to go after the same customers they are. How do they make it? So that ends up being Kindred Spirits. That's the first movie that we ever did. And I sent it to Bo and I said, what do you think of this? This is something that I came up with and this could be our first project. And he's like, this is fantastic. And I'm just an idiot. I've never did a movie or anything. I'm like, this is amazing. This filmmaker likes what I'm doing. So it was cool. It really was. It was flattering and fun. And then we did it and it was so much fun to shoot. The people that were in there were excited and enthused. They had never been focused on before. You look at any movie that had been done, and probably to this day, the documentary, other than the stuff Bo's doing now independently, they don't focus on the craft world. They always focus on the big guys. That's who they want, because they assume that the big audience wants to see, what the big guys are doing. And again, we love the big guys, but we also want to know those individual stories as well. So that was our first project. And then, Bo and I, worked together well. We're both about the same age. He's a little bit younger than me, but we're approximately the same age, and had a lot of things in common. Our kids are grown. We do this as a passion. Neither one of us is about making money. Gosh, it would be nice. Wouldn't it be so cool if we could make these films and we were like multimillionaires for doing it? Yeah, I always want to say, even though we're not about the money, if the money came, we would be happy. It's not like, we're not trying to make money, but we also don't let money force our decisions. I mean, there's opportunities to put this stuff into distribution and sign away 99% of the movie. That's what these deals for the devils are like. I mean, that's how they want to get you. They know that you want to get your movie on Netflix or whatever, Hulu or whatever. So they basically want to take your entire movie away from you. And then they want to have creative license with your future products. And we don't want to do that. I would rather make nothing than be able to turn on Netflix and be able to watch my movie or tell everybody I'm on Netflix. And, for every, dollar that is made, I get a penny. I don't care about that. And I get it. More people would see it, and we do want people to see this stuff. That would be kind of cool. But we also we work hard at this, and we don't want anybody telling us what to do. We don't want anyone taking all of our money. Even if we're only making pennies on the dollar, we get to keep all of it. And that's important to us. We feel like we're the ones creating this stuff. We want the money that comes with creating it. So we're weird, and we'll probably never be, very successful because we don't play by the rules and what's in place. That we don't follow the standard procedures. I mean, the standard procedures are you basically sell your soul to the devil, and then at the end of your career, once you get through all that stuff, and you can make some money in the sunset of your life because you have some control over things, and you've let the contracts run out and all that kind of stuff, and then you can have creative license to do what you want, and people will watch because you have a built-in audience that you've created over time. But we don't want to do that. We'd rather just make great movies and document bourbon, and that's what we do. Our movies are all, bourbon focused, though we've got a couple of ideas to go outside of that, and we may do that, we may not. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. But that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, it's we like making movies. I always say that's the most fun of anything that we do, because when we go there, we know that we're creating something that is designed to last forever. When you make a movie and you make arrangements to get it out there, and I've instructed, my family, my estate, if you will, to keep those movies out there, pay the fees necessary to keep them available to the public, and so they're available out there down the road. So, in theory, 100 years from now, my relatives' will continue to make this stuff available, and people can watch those movies and learn about what was going on at this time in history, and also learn about the past, because a lot of what we're doing is talking about the past. So, we're covering things the previous 100 years here in the 2020s, and I think that's a pretty darn cool thing, and that's why we do movies, and that's going to be how we always do it. There's going to be no sellout. We would sell out. Yes, we would if someone came along and met what we're looking to do, retain ownership, a vast majority of ownership of our property, the income from it, and what goes into it. That will never happen, but if it did, that would be the way that you'd be like, hey, you said you'd never sell out and you did. Well, we're able to create the movies that we want to create. We're making the money off of it, and we're reaching a wider audience. Sure, we do that, but we just don't have any aspirations that that's going to happen. We're just going to keep doing what we do. And if something comes up and faces us one day because we're doing a good job, who knows what will happen. But we want to keep going how we're doing. And I think we're doing great. I think the movies that are created by the combination of myself and Bo, and then Bo's got his own catalog of things he's doing himself. Those are equal to, if not better than even what we're doing together. That's the good stuff that's out there in terms of bourbon content. The rest of it, they make upfront, kind of knowing they have to reach a mass audience. They have to explain what bourbon is. It's 51% corn. We don't have any of that kind of crap in our movies. We're making for people who are already fans, and we're not going to change people's lives where they don't care about bourbon, then they watch our movie, then they think bourbon's the greatest thing in the world. That's not how it works. We're talking. We know we're talking to people who already love bourbon anyway, so we're going to make movies for them. So there you go. That's a little bit about the movies of the ABV network, and some of the team that is involved with the Bourbon Daily are involved in those as well. And that's what we do. That is how we got in the business, and that's our philosophy. So hopefully you enjoyed this show. I'm going to wrap it up, as I always do, by talking about where people can find me. I'm, of course, online, Steve Akeley, on all the platforms. I like to keep things easy for me and for you. So check me out on any of the social media platforms at Steve Akeley. Also, I've got a website, steveakeley.com, and we have a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's where our movie stuff is. So check that website out. Also, check out abvbarrelshop.com. That's where all the Barrel Shop information is, and including schedule and signing up for email, all that kind of stuff, abvbarrelshop.com. You can get involved in the show. You can head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network, or please leave us a 5-star review with comments. That's going to help new people find the show. That's always important to us. So that's going to do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya! Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.